Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this, our session. My name's Mary Jo Orzech. I'm the Scholarly Communications Librarian at SUNY Brockport. I'm here with two of my colleagues who are taking part this year in a wonderful professional development opportunity as part of the AAC&U Institute on Open Educational Resources. We're just starting the year, and so we don't have a lot of data per se, but we wanted to share some of the insights and takeaways so far from some what we've been gleaning from the year. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity to take a deeper dive into OER as a small cohort. We were very fortunate to be part of a team of four faculty as well as one librarian, in addition to Tony Franco, who's joining us from SUNY as a SUNY OER representative, SUNY Systems representative. I know not everyone can be on the call today, but we're going to give you a little taste of what we've been up to. So a little bit first about why now? Why did we think this was an important institute to participate in? Well, coming out of the pandemic, we knew we wanted to re-energize, get the campus moving again in terms of OER and open educational resources. We had folks who have retired or moved on. We wanted to reinvigorate the ranks. We wanted to make sure everybody knows what our OER program is, what the opportunities are. And we specifically made it a part of our campus leadership, made it part of the academic affairs strategic plan for this year. So I'm very happy that they were able to actually put in as one of the strategies that we are to increase the use of open educational resources in our courses. This helps strengthen why we're doing what we do. It helps us, it ensures that we know that we have administrative support for this from leadership from the top. And so we thought it was very nice that it's being incorporated into our strategic plan. What is the IOER Institute? Well, Brockport was very fortunate to be one of only 48 institutions and the only one from SUNY that's selected to participate in this IOER program that's being sponsored by the AAC&U, which is the American Association of Colleges and Universities. If you aren't familiar with the group, it's a global membership organization that works to improve the quality and equity of undergraduate education. They have a particular niche and mission in trying to, their leader is very interested in open educational resources and really made it a part of his mission to run this institute. So it's a year-long virtual professional development opportunity. It began with a 2-day kickoff in July, full-day virtual kickoff. It includes a lot of national leaders from OER, a whole variety of OER different stakeholders, and includes monthly webinars on speakers on different topics, including things like sustainability, textbook costs. Nicole Allen was on from Spark. We've had the one I wanted to pull out and make sure everybody knows is that sustainability was one of the first ones that we were treated to. And just as a reminder, that a lot of that work came from SUNY OER as part of the RPK data and information. So the sustainability framework and so on that we're reviewing is actually something that came from SUNY. So it really is a two-way exchange of information. And I just think that's a wonderful thing to help get the word out from SUNY as some of the exciting things that we're doing here to lots of other partners across the state, across all of the states. It was the team created an action plan, a simple one-page kind of action agenda that we want to get done through this year. And so I think that was important, that it's not just taking in of information, but it's really an opportunity for us to show, provide some deliverables and some objectives of what we want to accomplish from this. It includes things like check-in meetings with mentors to review this action plan, make sure that we're not getting stuck, helping us move forward with it, with what we're trying to adopt. It includes mid-year presentations that will be coming up in January, and then there'll be capstone presentations in June. This is not the first year that the AAC&U has offered this institute, but it's been reformed as a virtual kind of opportunity, so to allow greater inclusive, more people to participate, more different, greater variety of kinds of institutions, everything from community colleges through R1s. And so that's been very interesting just to hear how some of the different campuses are approaching OER and some of the different programs that they're using. I think everyone knows, and we don't have to belabor too much, the idea that OER, the kind of OER impact that this really can provide, that besides student affordability, which is largely by this point of many people know about the affordability advantage, but really trying to build and deepen the understanding of how does it really how can it enhance student success for things like retention and completion, that kind of data collection that is needed to show that kind of strength and impact and for our students. Of course, there's the social justice component and dimension to it, ability to customize content, and to show that for Brockport, we are building it into our strategic plan to show that it helps to show that Brockport is a great place to learn and engaged with its community. I want to just point out, same way that some of the takeaways that we want to bring back to the larger group, such as this group and within our own campus, is that AAC&U has just published some brand new case books and data and information that is of course it's openly licensed, but this is a hot off the press 2023 making the case for OER kind of information that's available for anyone who would like to. You can Google it, but the slides will be shared, and of course and you can obtain it from there. So, for example, the kinds of data that the new hot off the press kind of, if not data, but ways of exploring some of these kinds of things, is showing the idea that this still is such an important thing for our students. That we know that there still is textbook broke is certainly still something that people are thinking about. And that, of course, there's data that shows things that some students are, 11% of students, one blew me away, 11% of students in a study from 2022 is showing that, they are skipping meals to afford textbooks. So in a lot of ways, they may be impacted in a whole host of variety of ways. And this is some of the data this institute is helping to bring to light for us. One other quick report that I just want to make sure everybody here knows is that they also came out with a new report about how OER helps to advance DEI, the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion arena, that it really can make an impact. And again, this is a new report that they have issued, but it's open access and it's openly available, and it is worth taking a look at, because there's it really lays out in a much better way with some of the arguments that can be made for including OER in the way that we do our teaching and learning these days. Okay, so moving forward then, besides giving information, and we also want to make sure that we were accomplishing some things and some deliverables. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Jay Zhang. I'm going to ask her to introduce herself, and she's the co-lead on the project and has been instrumental in helping us to stay on track and keep things moving along. Jay?
Thank you so much, Dr. Mary Jo Orzech, for your leadership and for your guidance throughout this process. And I'm Zhang. I'm a professor of special ed in the Department of Education and Human Development at SUNY Broadport. It was my great pleasure to work with Mary Jo and my other colleagues in this team and work together to support our students on our OER efforts. And as Mary Jo talked about it earlier, as a part of the IOER Institute, we have to come up with some measurable action plans so that at the end of, in the middle of the school year and at the end of the school year, we can report back and show the tangible actions we have been taking to fulfill our proposed goals. So the goals were divided into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. And the short-term goals were something like build awareness across the campus stakeholders. For example, our team led by Dr. Orzech presented at the Senate. So it was shared throughout the shared governance body to the campus community about this IOER and our participation in this. And also Dr. Orzech led our team to submit Daily Eagle, which is our e-newsletter on campus, submit on this platform regularly articles and spotlights talking about OER actions and talking about OER champions. And for our midterm goal, it is to establish OER faculty learning community, which I will talk a little bit more in the next slide, as well as planning the faculty OER survey. For the long-term goal, we are to improve our reporting process and share results with other SUNY schools. And in fact, in our IOER team, Broadport team, there's a SUNY OER lead person in our team working together with us, so our information can be shared beyond our campus in the SUNY system. Some strategies we're using is such as to meet with our institutional research and to collect the data from our bookstore about how many courses of OERs have been offering and how many students have been receiving the impact. Thanks, Mary Jo. The next thing I would talk about is to build a support network. Specifically, we're going to share with you our faculty learning community. We meet twice every month to share ideas, to talk about best practices, to talk about some hurdles we experience and talk about some possible strategies or solutions, or even sometimes if we couldn't figure out the solutions, the emotional support among each other is also important, and how to plan for the next round of the SUNY OER grants and how to collaborate on research, etc. So right now we have about 10-ish members from ranging from sociology, library, history, OEDI, journalism, broadcasting, biology, nursing, and education, as well as Jennifer Wood is from social work. So which is one of who is one of our core teammates from our IOER. So for me, my personal goal attending this IOER is to develop another course. I have my intro to special ed as an OER have been offered for about 7-8 years. But I'm interested in developing another course, assessments for special ed, into OER completely OER course. And I will turn this to my colleagues for the next one. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angela Thompsell. I'm in the history department, and like Jie, I've been teaching with OER resources since about 2016, I think it is, especially in my lower division general education world history survey course. Or rather, I guess I should, something of a confession, given that this is an OER conference, what I have been using are no-cost resources, using OER when I can, but also some freely accessible, publicly accessible free material online, like the crash course videos that have worked really well for students, but are not open access, so they aren't technically OER. So I've had, I guess I should say, zero cost course for some time. And this semester, I'm offering a new course. It's world history, basically from the beginning to the end. And this is for childhood education students in particular, but also general education course. And so my goal for this was to better to expand my understanding of how to efficiently find resources. When I've been finding when I go out, there's either nothing or way too much, and I'm wading through materials. And so that's been my goal in this. So that I can better understand, because I think that's one of the biggest obstacles, certainly at our campus, to getting more buy-in for OER is the tremendous work it takes up front to find the resources. And we need to have some better guidelines and guidance provided for faculty at our institution, especially if you're not teaching a course that has the Lumen course nicely rolled out for you. As most of our group, I think, we're finding are not in that position. We're in courses that don't have a ready-made open source go-to resource. And so that's where I think a lot of us are coming into this from.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jennifer Wood. I'm Associate Professor of Social Work. My goal for becoming part of this project was to develop a dynamic with our materials that reflected the ethos of the profession I represent. So I focus very much on the social justice piece. And like Angela, there's not too many actual ready-made OER materials out there within my profession. I am teaching an Intro to Generalist Social Work class that we actually did find an OER open access textbook for, which has been fantastic. But for my DEIJ class, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice class, which I'm teaching 2 sections of, that really doesn't exist. So I'm using more of what Angela called no-cost materials. I'm using, articles, but again, I'm looking for a situation where the materials I provide the students when it comes to issues of equity and diversity actually equitably reflect diverse voices and perspectives. So I've been using podcasts, blog posts, some articles, but more voices that the students can relate to and that represent the communities that they're going to be serving.
Mary Jo, you're still muted there.
Yep. I just want to mention Dr. Ning Yu from computer science couldn't be with us today, but he's also part of our group and is interested in artificial intelligence of components to this, and there could be some collaborative kinds of things going on there, we hope, this semester. So at this point, I just want to ask if there's any questions. I think we're almost at time, but ask if there are any questions, or please reach out to me afterwards. We'd love to communicate. We'd love to share anything that we have, but also if you know of anything in these areas, as you just heard, we're like everyone trying to keep the learning going.
We're just about at time, so good job there, keeping it all within the 20 minutes. Thank you all for sharing, and we will be collecting the slides and sending that information out after the conference. If you are planning to attend the interdepartmental collaboration session, that is in this room next, and you're welcome to stay so you don't have to go out and come back in. Otherwise, we hope to see you tomorrow for the rest of the conference.